Hey everyone, this is Indy with TGN.TV, and today's video is going to be on Holy versus Disc. Now, I've gotten a lot of questions since my first video from either priests that are leveling up, new 85s. They want to know the difference between the two specs, which one would be better, and hopefully this comparison video will help you decide. I'm not going to say that one is a clear winner over the other. I just will show you the differences between the two. I obviously prefer Disc, but I figure I would let you, the viewer, decide based on what I'm showing you today. So to start it off, I'm on my main, and she is Disc, and I'm healing a 5-man random ZAZG. So needless to say, you get in random pugs, people will like to stand in garbage. They're either on an alt or a new 85. So you'll always have to look out for that as a healer. That's always extra fun. But as Disc, you're going to actually, you'll see me casting penance, bubbles, prayer of mendings, but you're actually right here you see casting heals, and in raids you're not really doing this that much, especially if you're healing 25s like I do. You're casting a lot of instant casts, you're shielding, and so when you get into a 5-man and you're the only healer, you're going outside your normal arsenal of spells. Now in this fight, I figured I would show you because I actually have the whole fight fraps, but it's not the best one to show you because people actually die as part of the fight. So that aside, the fact that dying is part of the fight, you'll see that I am pre-shielding people, and the ones that are taking a lot of damage, I'm spamming the greater heals on. Otherwise, you always want to look to pre-shield your tank. You always want to have a bubble on him, and you always want to have your prayer of mending used on cooldown. You don't want it like sitting on, if it bounces from the tank to yourself, you don't want it sitting on yourself and just not getting used. None of the charges are bouncing around. So that was this fight. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. I used my greater heals, I pre-shielded, I bounced around my prayer of mending and penance on cooldown, usually for the tank, but you know, if somebody's taking heavy spike damage, it's a great instant cast channeled spell that you can use. So we res up and we move on. Now in the next clip that I'm going to show you, I'm actually flipping over to my alt priest. So this is Indy. It's my second priest that I still keep on Garona to play with friends, and she is holy, so right now you're seeing her heal a pretty easy fight in ZA. That said, you're going to want to put your light well out first, and guys, I'm going to tell you this, you're going to have to tell your group, this is a light well, click it, it's here for you, because honestly, there's no reason not to click it. I'll say my piece on that. It's clickable from miles away. It doesn't interrupt casting or attacking or anything, so there's no reason not to click it. That said, what we're doing in Holy, and you'll see here, not a lot of damage is being taken on this fight. So I'm casting little heals. I mean, in Holy, if you're not seeing a lot of damage go out, you can cast little heals or just kind of throw renews around. Mastery on a Holy Priest is awesome. It's Echo of Light, and it essentially puts a hot on all of your heal targets for a percentage of the heals they receive. So as you can see, Mastery is extremely beneficial to both Holy and Disc Priests. That said, you're going to see me making use of Prayer of Mending just as frequently as if I were in Disc. You want to use this on cooldown. You don't want to wait for it to bounce around the group, because it could be on the tank and then it could be on you, and you really shouldn't be taking a whole lot of hits, so therefore it will lose its timer on you. You don't want that to happen. So keep Prayer of Mending out on cooldown. Another thing you see me not using is my Power Word Shield. Now in Holy, you should be taking the Body and Soul in your spec, so you're going to use your Power Word Shield when you need to give someone a speed buff to run away from something faster. I guess in a pinch you can throw it on a tank. It's really not extremely beneficial to you, so we're just going to leave that aside. Shouldn't be in your normal rotation. Okay, so here's another fight in the same instance. What I want to talk about first is I'm putting the light well out late, but that's because I was in a wonderful group that liked to prematurely pull. That aside, what I want to talk about here is healing in Holy, using your flash heal for serendipity. Now, this also applies to binding heal, but I would only use Binding Heal situationally. Now, in Holy, you're going to cast Flash Heals either A, as needed if it's a pinch, if somebody's taken some hard hits and you have the mana, you're going to use your Flash Heal. This is the difference. Serendipity will stack once per Flash Heal up to 3 times. What this will do is reduce the casting time of your next Prayer of Healing or Greater Heal by 4, 8, or 12% depending on the stack. So what you'll see me doing here is utilize Flash Heal to speed up my next Prayer of Healing or Greater Heal. That's generally why I use Flash Heal in Holy. And like I said, you'll use it in a pinch if somebody's really needing a quick heal. Other than that, you'll want to conserve your mana. Another thing you're going to want to do, as you can see, I'm eating up mana like crazy in this and standing in garbage right there. So everyone's guilty of that once in a while. So guys, let's talk about one of the coolest aspects about being a Holy Priest, and I'm not talking about Guardian Spirit, which is a very useful cooldown, but you'll only use it in emergencies, and most likely it's saved for the tank. We're talking about Chakra, and you're going to be in one of 2 states since they removed Renew, and you're not going to be smiting. The first one, which I'll highly recommend that you use all the time unless you have a situation to be in AoE healing. The first one is for either single target or tank healing, and this one is going to give you Holy Word Serenity, which is an awesome instant cast heal with a very, very short cooldown, and it also refreshes the duration of your renew on your targets when you cast heal on them. So definitely a great state to remain in, especially in like a 5-man encounter, unless you have reason to be in an AoE heal state, which will give you Holy Word Sanctuary, which is the ground AoE healing effect, not an insanely powerful heal spell, and it is very taxing on mana. So again, I don't recommend this unless you have a situation that calls for it. Also, you're getting 2 seconds reduced cooldown on your Circle of Healing and 10% increased healing on your AoE heals. So this is a strictly AoE healing state, and it is useful in certain situations. So all in all, guys, Holy is a great spec. It's just a different way of healing, and you'll look at this in contrast to Disc. You'll look at the mechanics you get in Holy. You get the Light Well, you get the Guardian Spirit, you get Echo of Light for your Mastery, and you get to heal in Chakra states. So you're going to pretty much take this and compare it against Disc, and according to your own personal healing style, say which one would I rather do. In Holy, you're actually casting more heals. You're actually throwing more renews around, and all of your heals are resulting in a hot because of that Echo of Light Mastery. So if you like the fact that you can keep hots up on your group, and you enjoy casting more heals, then definitely Holy's the way to go. Here we are back in Disc, and this is back on my main character, and as you can see, I'm keeping Prayer of Mending bouncing around on this one, and when the yellow square pops up on my grid, that just means I'm shielding people. So I do pre-shield damage a lot, especially in 5-mans, and like I said, gear dependent. This is my most geared character, and I can pretty much spam shields around, and also I've gotten to a level of comfort with my discipline spec where I can go down to pretty much 10% mana left, and I'm not worried because I know when my Rapture is going to proc back some mana, and I know my cooldowns because I have a Trinket, Arcane Torrent, and Shadow Fiend, all kind of set up depending, and I use them at certain points in a fight to where I know I'm never going to be choking for mana. So as a healer, each individual will have to adjust according to their comfort level, because in Disc you're going to see your mana bar shoot way down, and then it'll come way back up when certain things proc, and then honestly in a 5-man you'll want to be a little bit more careful with that, at least until you play this spec more. So as you can see here, this is the last fight in ZG. This one's kind of fun because there's all kinds of crap running around, and they want to eat the healer because I have constant heal aggro. So yes, the objective of this is to kill all the chains before the ads eat you. Lots of fun. So my objective here in Disc is I'm not really casting much. I'm casting my penance, my Prayer of Mending. You can see shields up all around. I look at which target is going to be charged next by the big behemoth guy. I always pre-shield them. And in this particular circumstance, if they're not near a chain, I'm going to life grip them towards me if I have line of sight on them. And in this case, oh, it's me. So I pre-shield myself, take the hit, backpedal like a pro. I listen to your comments, guys, and I know I backpedal. And you know what? As much as people post about me doing it in PvP, I'm probably still gonna do it because it's just one of those annoying habits I've developed. But until it results in a wipe or does something horrible to me, I'm still gonna do it. Okay, so I'm done talking about backpedaling. As far as disc goes, though, you know, you have to weigh the cooldowns that you get to use in disc. It's awesome that you get to smite heal. It's awesome that you get pain suppression, power infusion, power word barrier, and your heals are mostly in the form of absorbs. Now, if this appeals to you, if preventative healing appeals to you more than holy healing, then just look at each side, weigh the options, maybe even try both specs out before you decide. I'm always going to be partial to disc because I enjoy the mechanics, every single one of them, and I also enjoy its unique method of healing. But hopefully this video for you has shown you both specs and their uses, strengths and weaknesses, so that way you can decide which one more benefits you as a healer and which one you would enjoy doing more, because let's face it, guys, as healers we've got tough jobs, and if you don't like what you do, then we're not going to do very well at it. Well, guys, this has been Indy with another TGN.TV video. Until next time, thanks for watching.